Well, I just fired up the recording, Joel. I think
I know.
Tell more of your secrets.
Negative. I saw the computer blink and I was like, I'm going to stop what I'm talking about immediately. This actually was crazy talk for a change.
Yeah, welcome, folks. We don't have a proper podcast, but we're going to do kind of a year-end recap podcast, Joel, because we both had a lot going on this year, so there's things to talk about, and then we'll put it up on YouTube. It's going to be
before you know it, it'll be like new year, new me. You know, that's what people do.
Yeah. So I think, Joel, you watch the shooting industry closer than I do.
Yeah, I try pretty hard to pay attention.
The online stuff. Mm-hmm. That might surprise people to hear that, but I promise that is the truth. Like, Joel follows us up. What big changes have you seen this year? Not just stuff that we're doing.
Well, I
see generally being done.
We've talked about this offline. I've got a couple friends that teach classes that are saying, or maybe not friends, acquaintances that teach classes that say like this is the driest year they've ever had as far as classes, or things really slowing down. So like that's interesting that some people are reporting that, or even what you see online.
I think money is getting tighter for people generally, and they're buying less stuff that they don't strictly need.
Or maybe being more careful about how they spend the dollars they do have.
Yeah, I think that's true. Because guys like Nick Young is getting busier, right?
Yeah, he's crazy busy.
Yeah, Nick is busy. We're busy. Franca's busy. Like the guys I know are pretty busy.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm in an isolated crowd, I suppose.
You're too busy traveling, and you don't pay much attention to excess noise.
Yeah, for me personally, it was the busiest year I've ever had by a mile.
Dude, same for me. Like, real talk, this was the busiest year I've had so far. And next year, I already have more classes on the calendar right now than I did in 2023.
Well,
that's a good problem to have. I'm very thankful for that.
So one thing we've both been doing, like I like the rifle stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been doing carbine classes.
Mm-hmm.
You did like some military thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you're doing a rifle class with Nick Young, right?
Got a couple, I think 2 on the calendar with Nick Young. And then I'm doing not good at knowing all the details, but like a Ohio like police officers thing also that I got asked to do. So that'll be cool.
Yeah. Okay, so you also got a steel frame PDP. Your plan is to shoot that all next year?
I'll shoot.
Do you like it that much better?
I like the steel frame some from what I've shot. I mean, it's a heavy metal gun. It's a little bit softer. Real talk, like I'll probably still shoot the polymer frame a lot just because I'm a slave to appearances. And there are, for the most part, I don't care what people think. Let's be real. But there are some audiences and some classes that I do care what they think. So those are the audiences where I'll be showing up with like T-Rex rig, like my, thigh holster, like the duty style rig, war belt, whatever, and a polymer frame gun because I'm not going to show up with, gamer stuff. But otherwise, yeah, dude, the PDPs have been good. And I like that the guns are pretty much the same thing. They more or less take the same magazines, ammo, all that stuff. So those things have been good for me.
Yes. I could see that.
Yeah,
I definitely think so. I didn't get to train that much this year myself, even though it was kind of weird. I shot a lot of rounds, but didn't get to train a lot. There was a few weeks I got some time to myself to kind of do what I wanted. And now I'm just back to training, and that's kind of a nice feeling to wake up in the same place every day and then go shoot and do what I want.
Well, I'm putting a lot of your business out there, but you haven't had this for quite a while, like 6 months probably or more.
Way more.
Where you've had this, maybe all year, we've had this many days back to back that you're able to sleep in the same bed.
Yeah.
And not live out of a suitcase, which I'm not super envious of.
Yeah, that part sucks.
You make it look easy compared to what I see on the internet, though, sir.
Sacrifices had to be made. If you're like, hey, you want to have another base of operations, you got to get out there and make it happen. So coming into next year, we have some stuff coming, don't we?
We have quite a bit of stuff coming. Well, from us, I guess specifically, we've got a book is in the works. That will be quite cool.
Another book.
It'll be a rifle and pistol combo book. Maybe we'll leave some more details vague and mysterious, but it's going to be good.
I like that. I like vague and mysterious.
I figured you would. We should talk about the podcast. Ben.
Yes. Well, I'm thinking, well, I could get back to podcasting now that I've come off the road a little bit and have some time. So I was thinking a limited run Ben and Joel podcast would be fun.
A limited run, like 10 episodes or
You
less.
wanted
probably.
to name it Real Talk with Ben and Joel.
I thought that was a good idea.
Call it the BJ Show.
Uh-huh.
I guess we'll see where we land on that.
Well, Ben's naming it. Well, I guess it depends on who has to publish it to their RSS feed. Because if it goes to the training group feed, I have control over. If it doesn't,
we can meet in the middle. Let's compromise and call it Real BJ Talk.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Can't wait.
Yeah, how's the training group podcast going? Like, I don't check the feed to see if it's growing, but I assume you do that.
Very yeah, so happens I've looked at the analytics once or twice. It just so happens it continues to grow also, which again, very thankful for. People like a lot of feedback and engagement from training group people. I apologize if you're not a training group member. I mean, you get to listen for free, but the feedback and what the product gets catered toward is mainly towards training group people. And I have a lot of interaction on that side with like what people want, who they want to listen to, or posting for questions they want to ask somebody that I've got scheduled to come on. So the products are still for them, but you know, everyone can listen to it for free, of course.
Man. Well, next year, training group summit.
Yes.
What's happening? What's the plan?
Well, I have a
tentative Arkansas October. Is that
scrolling on my calendar? Yes, October in Arkansas. Our boy Jason Bradley, your friend and mine, he's hopefully getting us hooked up with the range there. All right, Ben, let's be real. I want to get it on the calendar because having it in September is no longer even an option since you already booked up. We had to find a date that we were both free. And yeah, your fault. You're the villain right now.
I am a little bit. I mean, you admit it. Like I've been saying for years, like, oh, I'm gonna like slow shit down or whatever, and I haven't done that. But this year, I've actually been like saying no to stuff.
Yeah, until there's been a couple of times where like, hey, these people want to have us go out. You have an open spot in your calendar. Like I'm putting this on training group and opening registration. That has happened.
Yeah, you have done that to me.
You can sleep next month. You got these classes to do, buddy boy.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, hopefully J Brad's doing the magic to get us a venue for Summit. So October in Arkansas is hopefully where we will be.
Good. So let's talk about your personal shooting next year.
What about it? What do you want to know, sir?
What are you planning on doing?
I'm gonna keep sending it, man. So I'm gonna keep mainly shooting pistol. Like, yeah, I have quite a bit of 5.56 ammo at my house, but the stuff's like it's expensive, and I don't normally shoot it unless I have a reason to. So the primary, I'll be dry training with the rifle and live fire, and dry fire with the pistol. Just continue trying to get better, I suppose.
Yeah.
What about you, sir? You've been shooting like a ton lately.
Yeah, I've been training a lot now. Like I feel super comfortable with my place in the desert where I go shoot, primarily. I have access to some other things, but primarily I go in the desert and shoot. I've become comfortable with that location and I'm shooting a lot.
Are you mainly shooting rifle or handgun, or what's the ratio, or does that change?
It does. So I kind of, if people want to shoot with me, which I've been shooting with people lately, which I normally train by myself, but I've been training with people and typically they want to shoot handgun. So that's what we do. Like there's a guy, his parents live here in Arizona. Like I told you, some guy that was in our class.
Yep, I like that guy.
Yeah, just I'm like, him. He's like, oh yeah, I grew up there or whatever. Just a few months ago we met this guy and he's in town, so we're going and shooting. Like we shot yesterday, we shot today, we'll shoot Saturday, right? So like doing some training, but it's all handgun. So like that's this week. So what I'm planning is like I'll hit some rifle stuff until I get busy. Like I have some stuff to do in January. I'm going to take the Mason Joel class. I'm going to take both classes in Tucson in January. So I'll just shoot in the class. That's going to be good.
That'll be fun.
February, I have a very long running annual gig. I think this will be my 14th year. consecutively in February going to Austin for training at a range there. But last year I slept on the range, and I would get up in the morning early and shoot rifle before the class showed up. And that was actually super awesome.
You were
Like
shooting
the weather was
obscene
pretty good for it.
amounts of 5.56.
Yeah, it was crazy. But the weather was pretty good for that time of year. So I think I'll do that again. I'm taking a distance carbine class, like long range, like we've talked about this. I'm taking that in March in Reno. And then I don't think I can do much personal development. Like April and May, as you know, in this business are F trained. Like I'm not going to get much time to me April and May, but then when I fire up training up north, June, July, August, September, I'm planning to reload and burn up some blue bullets through the CZs. So yeah, I've got a lot of different things kind of laid on for the year as far as my personal development. And I started, this will sound nuts, I started training on USPSA like classifier EORAs just for fun, just to like get a benchmark.
Yeah, you were doing the ridiculous one too, like Diamond Cutter, or like some of the really like the tough ones.
Right, but you see the it's paying dividends because like some of the clips I've dropped on Instagram where I'm like shooting those partial targets, like I was very consistent at shooting that pace with a lot of alphas, like very consistent. So it's like it's paying dividends. It's just I would say it's a very frustrating style of training. So I'm just kind of pushing it. I'm saying I'm doing the more difficult stuff than I've ever done and doing a lot of different variety. But I'm really enjoying it. And this tells you like how much fun, like I'm like really enjoying shooting again where, okay, so if you go and you teach all like for 8 hours a day, like teach shooting, you shoot a few hundred rounds, you talking about shooting all day. Like I don't really want to do more shooting after that. Right. And then, so that just kind of takes some of your shooting energy when you're teaching. So after so long, I just like didn't, I mean, there was a couple weeks where it's like, I will go shoot, but I don't like hugely want to. And now I'm like really enjoying it. Like I haven't been teaching for like 3 weeks. So now it's like, I'm really getting into it and having guys to train with is fun, you know? So what's been happening is I had to order more ammo because I'm expending ammunition at a faster than planned for rate, sir, but that's okay.
It's a good thing. Another thing I forgot to mention, I've noticed carbine training is like I have to be more careful with my setups to be efficient. Otherwise, well, my range is a little fuddy, and there's only a handful of ranges that or bays that you can shoot to 50 yards. So if I want to do any distance shooting, like there's only a couple bays I can use for that. And then if I do, like I want to have multiple setups or something, because otherwise I spend so much time walking down range and back. You know, you shoot like an array, whatever, change mags, you want to score an aggregate, whatever. So the other thing I've noticed is
no, I mean I have the same challenges. So for example, up north, like North Base, I have 2 ranges I primarily use. One of them I prefer for rifle because it's so open, I can back up and shoot like 300 yards if I really want to. But at the same time, my impact area is very narrow. So if I'm 50 yards away from my targets, I probably have like 10 degrees laterally that I can impact bullets like this much. That's it. But I like the range for a lot of other reasons, right? But I can't do that. And then another range I use if I want to if I want any gun and I want to rock and roll like 180 degrees, I can shoot 30 yards. I can shoot rifle on a 300 yard thing, but it's like benched 300 yard and kind of unsafe and inconvenient if I'm shooting any distance that's not 300 yards. Does that make sense?
Yep.
I can't shoot 100 because I'm putting him into the ground. Right? So like there's no perfect range if I want to do that. If I'm shooting my handgun, there's not going to be really a problem.
Dude, 100%. Like at my club, there's 2 bays that are like really optimal for carbine training. Anything else, I'm shooting 25 yards and in, which is totally fine for a handgun. For a rifle, it's like for doing doubles or whatever, like that's kind of the minimum distance I want. So training with the handgun is kind of just easy to get in and out if I don't want to be at the range all day. And I don't have to be.
Yes. Right? I mean, that's the truth. It's cheaper and easier. Like in the logistical sense, it's easier. like actually shooting, that's a different thing. But
Yeah. I just like turn up and I know whatever bay I get, wherever I have to go, like I'll be able to shoot handgun on more bays and I've got the distance. It's just like, it's just less logistical headache. Well, dude, you've been at my place before. We were going to go to the range. It's like, yep, we have to get there first thing. Otherwise, the bay we want, we're not going to get. Like, dumb.
yes, no, that's 100% real life.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I can't complain about my range setup like that I have as far as options, but it's never going to be like everything you want at all times. It just, for me, if you're doing rifle, it just necessitates planning.
I agree.
Well, man, next year is going to be exciting. We should both sign up for a course in the fall
Okay.
or maybe the winter.
I'm
Like
down.
if it's down south, like just go to some course. That would be kind of fun, actually.
It's been a couple years since I've taken a course as a student. Well, other than yours in Matt's. Like,
Yeah.
see if I can sucker somebody to letting me video it for PSTG. And yeah, that'd be fun.
Dude, maybe you should come to that distance carbine course.
That would be fun.
Are you free then? Do you know?
I don't know. I should look. I think I have a date on my calendar.
I'm road tripping to Reno from here for that, so that should be honestly horrible, but
Well,
do it.
It'll be interesting to me because you hate all the little details that I'm naturally good at. That's
And
not a heavy lift for me.
Oh my God.
So like
I hate that shit so
you'll
much.
have to have like, I'm like, yeah, you don't turn up with 3 guns and trade them off and they get hot. You'll have to have like 1 gun that's actually zeroed. I mean, you don't have to like weigh every bullet or something dumb, but you'll have to have 1 gun zeroed, like that kind of stuff. It'll be interesting. Because like the minutia drives you bonkers.
Yeah, I mean it's not exactly my thing.
I'm well aware.
This is a cleverly disguised math problem, but it's disguised as a shooting problem. I find that annoying.
Ben's so adamant about being prepared for this course and really getting into it. I'm just going to get all the gear gathered up for him and then bring it to him.
I was very adamant that you should do this. I was just like, a bipod to me.
Ben's like, I need a rangefinder. What's that? I'm like, never mind. I'll just get you one and I'll tell you how much you owe me.
I have a stud finder at home. Is that what we're?
It's the same thing. Right.
Jesus. Oh, Joel. Well, this is good, man. I'm excited. We should do like a limited podcast. We get some guests on there. We do some trolling.
I would love to. Trolling is always good.
Yeah.
You've turned into quite the little troll lately, Ben. You've really changed a lot in the last couple years.
Have I been trolling a little bit?
Oh, maybe I was talking about me.
Yeah, you've been trolling. I've been pretty even keeled, actually.
I've actually caused more chaos in the last year than probably the previous 5 years combined. Not even intentionally, just from being honest and saying what's actually on my mind.
Yeah, that's the last thing anybody wants to hear.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for coming on. I think we're going to get back to podcasting. We should do a course next year. I think you and me. I'm down to take courses. I think that'd be fun.
Dude, heck yes. And also, before you hit stop, or if you don't, I will. Training group members, or I guess whoever, if you want to take a class with us, the schedule is filling up. I do have make some clickety clack, a page on training group, pstg.us. You can click the classes button. That gives you an idea of some of the places we'll both be at. There are some that like the organizer collects the tuition, but if you want to get an idea of where we'll be at, a bunch of classes are listed there.
There is a bunch on there now, isn't there?
Yeah.
They're filling. I think they're filling pretty well.
I just got a message today from another guy that wants a Ben and Joel class. So, like, yep,
Amen.
We'll keep sending it.
Yeah, I guess I will sleep next month. You said. You don't care what this is doing to my physical or mental health, do you, Joel?
No.
No, you don't.
And then I tell people not even to encourage you. People are like, oh, Ben's so cool. Oh, he's got such a great haircut. Where I'm like, quit encouraging him. He's bad enough. Like, quit with the compliments.
Dude, with the Miata, it's great. There's a lot of times I'm driving and it's, a pearl white Miata and my hair is blown behind me. So guys will pull up next to me and look as they're thinking like that's got to be a chick, and I look back like surprise, surprise, motherfucker. Chick car, chick hair, not a chick. Love that, Joel.
Ah,
let's hit stop.